Hi, my name is Chaim Marcus from Congregation Israel of Springfield, New Jersey. And I'm here to share a thought about this week's Torah portion, Parshat Emor, with you. In this week's Parsha, we find a description of many of the different Yom Tovim, the different holidays, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Pesach. But we also find the introduction of a different time period, known as Omer. The Omer, where we find ourselves now, was a transition period from Pesach, Passover, until Shavuos, the holiday of receiving the Torah on Mount Sinai. And when you look at the Torah's description of Omer, it's in fact supposed to be a festive time. But the Talmud tells us that unfortunately, the time of Omer was plunged into darkness, into tragedy. A whole generation of teachers of Torah, thousands of students of the great Rabbi Akiva, all passed away during this time. And as such, a time that is supposed to be a connection between two of the happiest times of year, itself supposed to be a time of building anticipation and excitement for the receiving of the Torah on Mount Sinai, again, anew each and every year, became a time of sadness. But this coming week, there is a day in which the sadness stops. The day of Lag BaOmer, the 18th of Iyar, which is this coming Wednesday night, May 18th into Thursday, May 19th, is a time of unique celebration. It's a time where people all over, Jewish people and Jewish communities all over the world, they light bonfires. And they mark the day of Lag BaOmer as a time of amazing, amazing happiness. Why? Tradition tells us that it was on the day of Lag BaOmer that the students of Rabbi Akiva stopped dying. So when they stopped dying, that's a cause for celebration? Tradition says no. The real celebration is we have to see, what did Rabbi Akiva do when his students stopped dying? Rabbi Akiva lost thousands of students. He could have been totally broken, given into despair, walk away, retreat from the world. But that's not what Rabbi Akiva did. Rabbi Akiva went to the south of Israel where Torah scholarship wasn't so strong, and he found 5 new students. And from those 5 new students, the whole of the Torah world was rebuilt. The traditions of our people were continued on through those 5 students through a time of great religious persecution from the Roman Empire. And every year when we come to Lag BaOmer, you know what we're celebrating? We're celebrating that the Jewish hope is never extinguished. And that's why we light those bonfires. A bonfire can be started from a little spark, a tiny twig that has a little fire on it. Under the right circumstances, the right conditions, becomes a raging bonfire. And that's really what we have to remember during this time of Omer. Unfortunately, we're in a world of tremendous sadness, a world of tremendous pain. And a person can look at the world and say it's so bleak. What can we do and just retreat? But as a Jew, that's not what we do. We engage the world. We believe in the optimism, in the godliness, and the divinity of every person, and the goodness in the world. And that's what we celebrate on Lag BaOmer. Despite the tragedies and the sadness, Am Yisrael Chai will continue on in our unique relationship with Almighty, in our commitment to one another, and belief in ourselves. Have a great Shabbos and a beautiful Lag BaOmer.